Hello, and welcome back to All the Mods 9. Last episode, we got our fission reactor set up. We started producing some fissile fuel to run this thing, and we are producing nuclear waste out of this. We're then turning that nuclear waste into plutonium and polonium, but unfortunately, this is kind of extremely slow, and we're going to need a better solution to make this way faster. So to produce more nuclear waste, we're going to need a bigger fission reactor. But a bigger fission reactor means a lot of resources being used that we don't really have enough of. So we finally reached a point where we're not producing enough with our mystical agriculture setup. So we're going to need a better solution to get all of these different ingots that we need. We need quite a lot of lead, osmium, and steel for this. So my thought is, why don't we set up a little core reaction so that we can mine lots of ores and then end up processing them into ingots. And fortunately, Mechanism has a really nice ore processing setup. So that's what we're going to set up today. We have this mod in this mod pack called Quarry Plus, which comes with a block called a chunk destroyer. And hopefully this should be good for our ore collection. So we're going to craft one of these up. We need quite a lot of high-end materials here. Hopefully we have a good amount of this. To actually bake the chunk destroyer, there are a couple of other blocks that we need to craft inside of this workbench. For example, the Quarry Plus is something that we need. So all we need to do for that is throw all of the materials in here. We're going to select Quarry Plus here, and it should just hand it right to us. This does take quite a lot of energy to craft these things, so make sure you have that built up and ready to go. We also need some flexible markers, and then the only other thing we should have to craft is the pump, which takes 512 glass just to craft one. So very glad we set up that smelting over here for all of our glass. Oh, I need to export this faster. I think if we just throw a couple acceleration cards on this import bus, it should pull it all in. Perfect. Let's craft a couple of pumps. And then if we throw all of this in here, we should be able to get the chunk destroyer. Perfect. But now let's take this guy, let's just say somewhere over here. Let's throw him down. And that is not a large area. Well, I guess it is a chunk. Can we expand this? Oh, wow, okay. Oh, that's huge. Okay, jeez. Okay, yeah, even this area right here will probably be plenty. It looks like it does it by chunk radius. So we've got 4 chunks going this way, 4 chunks in every way, and that should be a plenty big area in order to run this thing. Now, before we start running this thing, it does need some energy next to it, and then oh, it didn't start already, did it? I think it might have. Okay, well, we want to put both a stack upgrade in this barrel and then an advanced void upgrade. Oh, and it's going. Wow. There are probably a couple of things we want to void, like gravel, for example, and maybe I need another stack upgrade. We're getting a lot of copper in here. Dry ice we can probably void. Anything that we don't really need to have an excess of, we can just throw into the void filter. Stuff like inferium essence. Ooh, we're getting a lot of prosperity shards. That's really good. Wait a second. I need to get rid of this. Hang on. I'll be back because I think that we can get even more ores out of this. If we craft one of these enchantment movers, which is another thing we need to craft in the workbench. Now, if I can get Fortune 3 on a pickaxe, getting Fortune on a book is actually super easy to make. We've already done this before in the enchanter from Ender.io. We use this to make looting books for the mob masher, but it's basically the same thing. We just take a book and quill, and then emerald and lapis will get us Fortune 3. Now, I'm not sure if I need to put this on the pickaxe or... yeah, I think I do. So let's put that on there. And then if I throw this into the enchantment mover, and then into the chunk destroyer, yeah, we can get 3 levels of fortune on that guy. Wait, if I do it again, can we get more levels? I actually have no clue. I really want to test this out, though. If I throw this on the pickaxe, I have no levels. Hang on. Pickaxe, book, and in the enchantment mover. No, okay. Fortune 3 is the max we can do. That's okay. This should still be a huge bonus. So let me throw this back down here. Increase this back up to 4, although it shouldn't be working. Ready to start. If I stop this, will it... uh-oh. Oh man, that is working fast. I need another stack upgrade in here too. Oh gosh. How do I get this to not work right now? Okay, let me give this a shot. If I power this off with a lever, will it stop working? I just need to increase the size, but it doesn't look like it wants to. Okay, there we go. I just had to break it and replace it. Now if we power this guy, it should start going, I think. Oh, there we go. I don't know what I did, but I hit start and it's going now. Phew, we are getting a lot of stuff out of this and plenty of lead, which is exactly what we want to see. Now, if you're curious about seeing the giant hole in the world that this is creating, yeah, it's kind of big. The fun part is that we can just go down here. We can just fly through this giant hole in the world. I'm not sure what all of these air blocks are. Maybe this is where a liquid was. You know what? It leaves all these loot barrels behind for us to grab. If we wanted any of these. It can crash your game. Now the cool thing is that if we did this in the deep dark, we would probably be able to find some unobtainium. And I think I need a little bit more of that to... I should have done this in the mining dimension. I'm so silly. Maybe once this finishes up, I can throw this in the mining dimension and see what we can get. Wow, this is absolutely insane how many ores we're getting out of this. I did some work on our void upgrade. I switched it to match tags so that we can void items based on their tags, like flowers and saplings, for example. We don't want any of those, and seeds that we're getting a lot of. So that should help clear up some space that we have. I also started exporting all of our raw ore into another barrel with a laser node. And then in this laser node, I've just got 2 different item cards. One to extract all of the raw ore from all the ores. And then a tag for all of the raw ores that we're getting, which should pull everything out, I believe. Oh, we want lapis, redstone, and coal too. All of those extra things. Yeah, wow, this is so much better than anything I've been doing before. I should have done this like way earlier. Okay, well, now that we have all of that taken care of, and we have a huge hole in the world, maybe we'll turn this into a nice little base area. And would you look at that? There's actually a little piece of unobtainium right here. Maybe I should grab that fortune pickaxe we made earlier and mine that up. Also, nothing like a huge spider's nest right next to your base. Love that. I did have to upgrade that fortune pickaxe to netherite to mine the unobtainium, I believe. I remember. I think that's right. Let's mine this up, and hopefully we should get a lot out of it. Oh yeah, 4 pieces is real good. Well, anyway, now that we have a big hole in the world, let me just eventually fly up here, and we have all of our ores in this netherite barrel. I'm gonna pack this up, and let's take this one too. That should allow us to just break these guys and take them with us instead of having to break them open and deal with all the items. And that actually didn't take as much energy as I thought it was going to. Our energy cell is pretty much over halfway full still. Now, just because I'm curious, I'm gonna leave this netherite barrel here and with all the ores that we got out of that, and we are going to take a trip to the mining dimension. Now, I'm only doing this just because I'm curious to see what the difference is as mining here in comparison to mining in the overworld. Now, I'm going to mine out basically the same area, and then we'll do the same thing where we throw the barrel on top, and we shouldn't get any random items out of this. We should just get like dirt and stone, which we can void, of course. And then I'll set up the same laser node deal. And then once we start powering this thing, I think it should start going to town, hopefully. Oh yeah, it's building. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, this is working wonderfully. It's not pulling the ores out though, which is not ideal. Oh, it's because I had the directions backwards. There we go, that's so much better. So yeah, I'm really just curious to see what the comparison is in ores that we're getting out of this. And already we've got some more unobtainium. Oh, and this mines through the nether and end too. Oh, that's awesome. I don't believe you can get the other unobtainium ores like unobtainium and vibranium this way. I think you actually have to mine those in the other dimension and in the end. But we can actually see about doing that now that we have the chunk destroyer. We should be able to mine those a lot easier. I'm not going to go too crazy on the unobtainium mining because I know that we can make seeds out of this. I believe you can actually double this too. Yeah, you can double this just with a hammer, and I think you can process it to get more out of it. So we'll definitely do that. You just need 4 blocks of unobtainium to make the seeds. And we are finding plenty of this ore in this mining dimension, so we should have no problem getting that. Now, the weird thing about this is if you start getting anything you want to void in the barrel, you have to kind of like take it out and manually put it back in, which is kind of weird and kind of takes a lot of work to do. Actually, I think we need endstone. Do we? Nah, I'm not gonna worry about it. We'll keep what we have and void the rest. I mean, this is just the coolest thing I've ever seen. I've never felt this overpowered in Minecraft before. I'm gonna let this guy run for a couple more minutes until it's all cleared out. And then at the end, we'll take a look at our netherite barrel and see what we got. And then we can go home and compare it to what we got in the overworld, just for funs. Ooh, I think this thing is finally all done. We've got all of our ores in here. I threw in a compacting upgrade to try to save some storage. This just compacts like all of the raw ores that we're getting into blocks. And then I did end up saving a lot of the endstone that we're getting because I know we need that for the dimensional seed. So we have that in there now. And man, that is a lot of ore. So let's pack this up. Make sure we don't drop these because I do kind of need them again. Well, I think I can officially confirm that mining in the mining dimension is definitely way better. We can kind of see the difference in how many ores we got. For example, we have 4 blocks of double compressed diamond, whereas here we only got 3, which is, you know, it seems like a small number, but that is a huge difference. So yeah, that was a fun little test. I do kind of want to move everything into one barrel though. So now all of these ores should go into here. Now something else we can do for fun is if we take our teleport pad to the nether, and we toss this guy down, this will land us in a dimension called the other. And I didn't expect to be trapped inside, but that's okay. We're going to do a little mining here. Back with the chunk destroyer. I'm only going to do 1 chunk this time instead of the crazy amount that we did. Actually, let's do 1 in each direction. Oh no, I forgot you can't fly in this dimension. Uh-oh. We may have to be careful. Maybe if I grab like a water bucket or something, then I can try going. Oh, no. Okay, that doesn't work. Well, kind of need to get down there. Mining in the other is what's going to allow us to find vibranium. The problem is we can't get down there. Okay, that may be a scrap on trying to do the quarry in this dimension. Oh, hey, there's some right there. Let's grab this vibranium. Vibranium is another thing that we can turn into seeds with 4 blocks of it. So we may want to do just a little exploring to see if we can't find some more of this. And it turns out that this stuff only spawns in caves exposed to air, so we wouldn't have had much luck mining with the chunk destroyer anyway. Now what I really should have done is put fortune on this pickaxe. I didn't think about that. Now what I do need to do is find my way back. Okay. Let me run around for a bit and see if I can find our portal. Now there is one more thing we can do with the chunk destroyer, and we need to be in the end for this. And I just need to get rid of one of these guys. And with an ender pearl, I didn't mean to make you angry, I'm sorry. We should be able to teleport through the gateway here. Now that we're out here, we need to explore around a little bit. We need to find an end highlands biome. Oh, like this one right here. And then we'll do the same thing with the chunk destroyer again. Now once this mines out a good area of the end highland, we should be able to find... Once this mines out a good area of the end highlands, we should be able to find some unobtainium, which is the last ultimatium ore that we need. And it seems like this one is a lot rarer than the other ones because it is not coming up at all. Oh, I think I see some up there actually. Yes, perfect. So hopefully with a Fortune 3 ultimatium pickaxe, we should be able to pick some of this up. Cool, and we probably want to keep finding some more. We'll make seeds out of this one too once we get 4 blocks of it. Ooh, there we go. There's a couple more up there. Oh, a lot more actually. Okay, I think I've mined out all of the unobtainium that got exposed. This should be plenty to get us 4 blocks. Once we set up the ore processing, we should be able to get plenty out of those. So we should be good to take everything home. If I can find the gateway. Not a gateway, but this is sick. I wonder what this is. Oh, hello. There's probably some good stuff in there. Gotta say, not a fan of that, really. That is awful. I really don't like that. Well, that takes care of all the ore collection we wanted to do today. And boy, did we do it. I mean, this right here, this is, I just did the math, this is over 400,000 raw copper. Yeah, I think we're good. And with all that, I think that's a good place to leave this episode. I think we'll jump into trying to process these ores with mechanism next episode, and then we can finally build the big fusion reactor. And this is where it's going to happen. I think that's going to do it for today's episode. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.